So I guess I'm gonna paint with this today. Hello everyone! So I had a totally different plan for what to upload this week, but when I saw this comment from Alison Lid, and I hope I said that right, I dropped everything I was doing because this is way more important. They suggested I should make a paintbrush with hair from my cat. This is brilliant, of course I have to try that. I need to paint the cat with a brush made of cat hair. So to do this, I need cat hair, obviously. I decided to collect it directly from the source so it would be nice and fresh. So this is what I've got so far. I don't think I will need that much more, but I assure you I could have collected like a ton more of this. British short hairs are known for their very thick undercoat fur. I would have preferred the more stiffer hairs over this more woolish fur, but I can't really pluck them off her body. I don't think Sally would appreciate that. Also, we just bought this brand new cat tree, but where's the cat, you may wonder? Well, in the box that the cat tree came in, of course. So now when I have the most important part, let's move on to the actual paintbrush making. These are some things that I thought I might need, like a saw, some knives, bamboo stick for the brush handle, strings to tie things with, and a glue gun. Also, I have never made a paintbrush before, so if you're looking for a professional tutorial on the subject that will actually teach you anything, I will leave the link to the video that I watched before making this in the description box below. It was very helpful, I can tell you. And the reason I use a bamboo rod is because it is hollow, so it saves me the step of drilling a hole in the stick. I'm cutting it off by one of the bumps or knuckles or whatever it's called, which gives me a perfect length for the brush handle. Next I'm gonna make 4 cuts like a cross and then cut off some excess material with a knife to make the end of the stick more flexible so I can get the bristle hairs in there. And then it's time to make the cat hair bristle. As it is now collected in a fur ball, the individual hairs are pointing in all directions and I want them to be lined up in a bundle. I first tried to comb them, but that didn't do anything. I found the best way was to pinch the hair and pull, and I ended up with hairs that all went in the same direction. It feels like I'm over-explaining this stupid thing that no one will ever do anyway, so let's move on. When I got a nice little bundle of hair, I tied it together. I wrapped the string around the end of the bristle to make it a little more sturdy and easier to put inside the brush handle. It kinda looks like the thing you use for fishing, the bait, you know. Wonder if you could catch any catfish with it. Lastly, I'm just gonna glue the bristle to the handle. I would have preferred not using a glue gun since it dries so freaking quickly, but this is what I had at home at the moment, and honestly, I am pretty sure I will only use this brush once anyway. As I saw, the glue dried so quickly, so I didn't have enough time to get the bristles as far in as I wanted, but I think this will work anyway. Then to tie it all together, literally, I used a purple faux leather band to wrap around the end, both to make it look a little prettier, but also to add pressure to secure the bristle even more. So yeah, here it is, a paintbrush made with hair from Sally the cat. It is super soft as I predicted, and it sheds just a little, but hopefully it is just some loose hairs that didn't get glued in properly. I am so amazed by how good it looks, no matter how it is to paint with. I am proud I managed to make something that looks like a paintbrush. Since I don't want to wear out the bristle the first thing I do, because I didn't know how fragile it was, I mixed a couple of watercolor washes beforehand that I could just dip the brush in, and if I had any liquid watercolors I would definitely use them for this. I have liquid ink though, but I didn't want to ruin the brush with permanent ink. It looks like the bristle picks up the colors pretty well, so let's see how it is to paint with. Honestly, this isn't too bad. It actually works very well. The bristle bends a little because the hair is so soft, but it still gives tapered, beautiful lines. It seems to work better for thicker lines than finer. Even if the very end of the tip is super fine, it doesn't seem to work that well for finer details. I mean, it obviously gives finer strokes too, but it is a bit hard to control since the nib is so flimsy. I am actually really loving how this looks. I like the more organic lines. It reminds me a little of the softer calligraphy brushes. Since the brush won't work that well to color a more detailed piece with, I guess since it is so hard to control, I decided to just go with some colorful, pretty flowers. The brush strokes really inspired me to play around with colors and make more messy, semi-abstract art. I am surprised by how much I like this paintbrush. I honestly thought that all the hairs would just fall off once I dipped it in water, so this is beyond what I was expecting. In fact, this brush didn't lose one single hair that I could see while I was painting, which really impressed me. And I know people have made their own paintbrushes since the beginning of time, but I am pretty amazed that it worked that well with just some unplanned random things I had laying at home and cat hair. Also, this will be a nice little memory of Sally since I used her fur to paint this. It is kind of weird but still a beautiful thought in some way. Now thinking of it, maybe I should have painted Sally, but I didn't have enough time unfortunately. Oh well, maybe next time. I really wished I've had some liquid watercolors for this. I think the colors would be much more vibrant. Watercolor washes tends to get a little washed out, especially since it is basically mostly water, and it is hard to get more concentrated pigments, but I still love how this piece turned out, so please keep this image in your head when you see the next painting. It will not be as pretty, but I decided to leave it in here anyway because I promised I would paint a cat with a cat hair paintbrush. So as I said, I am not a huge fan of how this piece turned out, but maybe some of you guys might like it. I don't know, just because I don't like it, it doesn't mean you can't like it, even if it looks like poop, but some people like that too. Just kidding, I tried to go with the same kind of flowy organic style as in the first piece, but I think the brush started to become a little tangled, or how to describe it. In the beginning it was quite soft and mushy, but after a while it got denser and denser and not as smooth and enjoyable to work with anymore. I think it is because the hair fibers are so fine like wool, and when working with wool, like rubbing it together with water, it starts to stick to itself and get denser, and I think that is what happened here, which made me a little disappointed since I was hoping to maybe use this brush a little longer. However, I made one piece of art with it that I really love that will remind me of Sally when I see it, so I'm happy with that. The whole goal was to make a brush out of cat hair and make art with it, so I would say mission accomplished, and I actually kind of like how this cat turned out anyway. It is pretty cute. So here you have them. Let me know which one's your favorite. Also, let me know if you like these kinds of videos where I just play around and experiment with art and art supplies. I really enjoy it, and I think it adds a little bit of variety to my content. Thank you Alison Lid for suggesting this, and if you guys have any other suggestions for weird art experiments, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new here and click on the little bell to get notified every time I post new art and videos, and I will see you next time. Keep drawing my happy cats, or should I say keep painting with your cats. Bye!